Is there an update with the Kyle Flood investigation?
No.
How'd you get the news?
He told us after.
Toll getting his first ring since 2011. Win or lose, we knew Seton Hall was a lock. That means there are 2 vacancies right now in the Jets front office, of course, head coach and general manager. How did your time at Elizabeth High School develop you into the person you are today? After Jeff and his family called Hugel to thank him, a lunch meeting was set up at Jeff's favorite restaurant. These conditions obviously are not favorable for the track, the $1 million race, but they're also not ideal for Monmouth Park as a whole. How would you grade or evaluate your 2 years here as athletics director?
There's a big learning curve when it comes to Rutgers.
Your phone must be blowing up right now.
Oh yeah, it's.
And so Eric Della, this snowball is for you back in the studio.
Jason, thank you very much.
News 12 New Jersey's Jason Kahn has the story from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Jason?
Brian, the questions have been asked for the past couple of weeks about Coughlin's future, but today finally answered. As you alluded to earlier, Coughlin releases a statement earlier today saying it's in the best interest of the organization that I step down as coach. I strongly believe the time is right for me and my family. And as I said, the Giants. You got the sense in the locker room before news broke that this was the end for Coughlin.
He's been a great coach to play under. We have a great relationship, great trust, and I appreciate the way he works. I think he appreciates the way I handle my business and play quarterback and prepare and get ready.
Eli Manning, emotional. Every year, every game of the quarterback's career has been under Tom Coughlin. For many players in this locker room, it's the only coach they've ever known.
He's a great coach. He's determined, motivator.
Great guy, great leader. One of the best guys I've played for. I'd love to play for him. And if he's not back, I just wish him the best.
In 12 seasons, 2 Super Bowls, 102 wins, second most in Giants history, but 3 straight losing seasons.
At the end of the day, it's all about players. We didn't do a great job this year.
Coughlin taking a lot of heat recently, but players this year not helping. Victor Cruz out for the season with an injury. Jason Pierre-Paul signs midseason after a fireworks accident nearly blows up his hand. Odell Beckham Jr. lets his emotions get the best of him. Suspended 1 game. Players hope this is not how Coughlin is remembered.
The thing that popped out to me when I first got here that he said was, faces may change, but expectations never do. And I think that's the way he leads.
A press conference with Tom Coughlin is expected tomorrow morning at 10:30. Owner Steve Tisch, John Mara, and General Manager Jerry Reese are expected to join him. In East Rutherford, Jason Kahn, News 12 New Jersey.
The former Bayonne and college football star is battling a rare and incurable disease.
But the support he's getting from the town is lifting him up. Our Jason Kahn has more.
Yeah, they sure are lifting him up. We told everyone about Brandon Smith's story last month. Fighting ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. He's only 30 years old, but even as his body is changing, his spirit is staying strong.
And we'll go step over.
Brandon Smith is used to pushing himself.
You can do it.
Even now, when the smallest step can be a struggle.
The heel first.
A former athlete from Hudson County.
Brandon Smith.
Making hits like this, evoking that same football mentality as he battles a crippling disease.
Move forward, preparation, determination. That's it.
July 2015, doctors diagnosed Brandon with ALS.
Turn it this way.
It's a progressive deterioration of muscle. According to the ALS Association, people average 3 years with it. Are you scared?
No.
That's how he approached his days on the football field, alongside his twin brother Brian, winning a state title for Bayonne as seniors.
Best moment of my life, because I got to play a big game with my brother. It's like my best friend.
Brandon moved on to the University of Massachusetts. A starting safety as a senior, he turned his 4-year career into a tryout with the Giants, but it didn't last.
All my Giants fans and getting a tryout for them was great.
He returned to his hometown to become an assistant football coach at his alma mater, basketball too. He says he's always been healthy, but now the 30-year-old has muscle weakness, twitches, and slurred speech. That's what caught his mom and fiance's attention. It happened out of nowhere.
I had to be strong for him, but it was the worst day of my life.
But you told me you didn't know too much about ALS at that point.
No, but I knew the end result of ALS. So that much I knew.
It was a scary feeling. My heart dropped.
Christy Altamirano and Brandon are high school sweethearts, engaged for the past 3 years, a possible wedding this summer. But lately they're putting on events like this, an alumni flag football game, raising money for ALS research. By taking on the Ice Bucket Challenge, the community is helping.
It means a lot, just to have those people there to support him.
Support for him and others. Superintendent Patricia McGeehan lost her husband to the disease almost 25 years ago.
Kind of hits me in the heart a little bit more than most people, but I know that we're going to give him the strength to fight it, because if anyone can fight it, it is Brandon Smith.
But even on a day where friends and past teammates crowd him to take pictures and give words of encouragement,
Brandon's Brandon, and he's still the same he was since he was a little kid.
there's nothing more they can do. Everyone points to his smile and strength, even during a dark time.
I believe in God, and I have a whole family and community behind me.
What do you expect in the months ahead?
I'll look that far. I look at it now.
Brandon is participating in 2 trial studies in Boston and New York City to help researchers learn more about the disease. To donate to Brandon's cause, go to news12.com and click on the link for the article. So, very inspiring story as he tries to fight this disease, but they are pulling by using their faith and hoping for a miracle here.
Yeah.
Talk about strength of spirit.
Yeah. Nick, that's definitely part of the challenge, and winning helps too, let's be honest. This town is taking a lot of pride in their football. They've always taken a lot of pride in their football, but tonight, in part, is about helping the community heal. On the southern bank of the Raritan River, you'll find Sayreville. Residents and visitors alike welcomed by the success of the high school football team. 6 state championships, a run of 3 straight ending in 2012.
People expect us to make the playoffs. It's like, are they going to make it this year or not? No, they expect us to make it.
My mother almost fought my father one year because of football.
So this scene for their season opener isn't unusual. People decked out in the blue and white. This is Bomber country, and it's not just on this field. It's everywhere. Like a local sub shop, longtime supporters of the program. Players and coaches routinely eat here and talk football.
From what we see and hear, it's pretty huge.
Big enough to divide this town over a hazing scandal that went national. Superintendent Richard Labby canceled the season after 4 games. When asked about that decision, he declined to comment.
We're just happy to take a step forward, a big step forward toward normalcy here in the district.
That decision created tension between parents.
I'm a single mom of 4 kids. I count on that. I counted on that for my son for a scholarship.
A faction of people like her aren't convinced anything happened. But inside the locker room, 7 players charged with sexually assaulting or abusing 4 teammates. 6 of them get probation and community service, avoiding having to register as sex offenders. 1 case still awaits trial.
At first, it's like, oh my God, these people are saying this about my brothers, about my family. It pisses me off. But then I sat back, because I'm not one to jump to conclusions. So I sat back and realized, all these people are saying all these things, and it's just people talking.
Much of that talk directed at the firing of a legendary coach. George Najar presided over Sayreville football for 20 years. He has not spoken publicly about the incident, but his downfall hit some players harder than others.
It's pretty sad.
It's always a transition. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that for them it was different.
Chris Began coached with Najar for 8 years.
And we're going to work at exactly that.
He's a Sayreville alum and the new head coach.
Bring it in, let's go.
He won a state title at Monroe in 2009.
Certainly I know of all the stories and everything that's been written and what's gone on here. But really, we just took the approach of we're going to focus on moving forward.
An approach that's taken them from the long, hot summer days of training camp to this game, under the lights and beyond. But a win isn't the only thing on their minds. It's about bringing the town together again.
We're bringing them out of the trenches. So what we do corresponds to how the next few years are going. So that's why it's so important for us, because we just got a burden put on our shoulder. We need to respond to that, and we need to teach the younger kids how to get out of it.
Lawyers for the defendants involved in the hazing scandal declined a request for an interview. The Middlesex County prosecutor also did not want to speak on camera. Nick?